Hi, my name is Drew, and you're watching ReadyBudgetGo. If we haven't met before, welcome. I'm glad you found your way here. And if this isn't your first visit, welcome back. It's good to see you again. It's Tuesday, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more in my Celebration Savings book and in the Batman binder for savings challenges. I'm saving toward my big goal, and this is the last week of December, so this is the last week that I'll be doing $100. I've got more money to save starting next month. But for now, let's jump into it. Okay, up first, let's do the celebration savings, and I am going to open the binder to the last page. I started this in November, I think, so this is the second month, and I'm going to finish, of course, because we are rapidly closing in on the end of the year. I am going to scratch the last two over here and save that amount to start. So we've got 7 and we've got 5. Let me get these cleaned up. So that'll be 12. And then up next, I'm going to roll the d6 twice. And I misplaced my Superman dice, so I'm pinch hitting with this plain blue die. So 3 and 5. So let me write those in. 3 and 5. So 12 plus 8 is 20. And then we need to save $5 for each of the last two trees, so that will be another 10. So that's going to be $30 going into celebration savings for the week. So there's the money, but let me finish coloring these in. So we'll do the trunk and the star. And then everything else is green. I'm going to try to use the chisel tip to speed things up a little bit, but that always makes for a messier experience. But that's okay. I have learned over my life to accept my imperfections in drawing, coloring, and other visual arts. Okay. So we'll get this tree colored in. All right. It's about good. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and is looking forward to the new year as I am. So December is done. We'll start on January next week. But let's see how much December saved. So as of last week, we had 100. So we're at 130. And I will paperclip this. And I'll probably add it to November just to keep a running accumulation of how much it is saved over the course of the entire book. So let's see. November saved 131. So about 130 bucks a month is how we're running, based on how I'm doing it. Of course, you can set your own amounts for the color and save, and the roll and save. Your mileage will vary. Okay. So that is celebration savings. Excuse my reach here. Let me swap out the binders because we will get started with the Batman binder. And the first one that we're going to do, we're skipping some because I am limited in how much I can save this month. So the first challenge is from April at April's Fresh Start. And Kimmy at Kimmy's Corner sent this to me. And let's roll to see which one to scratch. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right down here. And 4 is the number. Clean that up. 2 and 4. And I am going to be condensing as I go. So let's see what all is in here. So I can swap out this. There was already 16, add 4, so we'll swap this for a 20. Okay, so $40 so far in this challenge, and I think it's a $75? Yeah. Okay. So that goes in here, and I better keep up with tracking everything. So celebration savings was 30, and the shark challenge was 4. Up next, we will do the 7 heavenly virtues and the 7 deadly sins. Get the cards out here. I am going to roll a d6 to tell me which card to do, and then roll for heads or tails, and then roll for which scratch. So it's going to be card number 2. So 1, 2. So this is humility and pride. And even is the virtue, odd is the sin. Even, so we're doing the heavenly virtue. And let's see which one we're going to scratch. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is going to be the Mac Daddy, $7. That is the highest that these go. So 5. Oops, just 1 5. And 7. Let's see if I can consolidate anything in here. Doesn't look like. So far, this has 50, 70, 85, 7, 8. $88. And this saves, I believe, $5.25 altogether. Okay, so $7 and the 7 heavenly virtues. Oops, can't write with a scratcher. Up next is the 80s, totally 80s. And for this one, I'll need to take all the cash out. Yep, that's totally what I meant to do. Totally. Let me grab a D10. Number 1. Okay, so we're going to do Oh Snap. And we will scratch number 2. 1, 2. That is going to be $9. Also as high as this one goes. So I'm sensing a pattern here for this week. Okay. So $9, and I see a 1 that I can grab. Swap that for a 10. 1 goes in. 10 comes out. So far this has $87. Almost as much as the 7 virtues and 7 sins. Okay, up next is destination savings. Actually, I'm going to leave that open. Let me pull out the deck here. We'll see where we're headed to this week. We are going to Athens. And this is the last one before we start over. So, I say we're always doing the highest one, so we're going to do food for $9 for Athens. And I had been putting these face up on the bottom, so I guess I will stick with that, but I will shuffle these so that next week they're in a different order. Something like that, right? And then we'll do a little bit of this action here. So who knows where we'll be going next week. But for now, I need to save $9 for the sightseeing in Athens. And what can I do here? So I will put back 42 and take out 51. So 156 so far in destination savings after 1 trip through the deck. Oops, and I left the... I'm using this as a dashboard. Okay. A mini dashboard. All right, so destination savings was 9. And I'm tracking this by writing everything down because I want to make sure that I save at least $100. And now we've got Save the Plates. And let's see where we're going this week. We are going to Washington, my home state. Okay. So, fun fact, this plate design, the background of Mount Rainier, was designed for Washington's centennial in 1989. And a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago now, they changed it back to the original plate design, but kept the Mount Rainier background. So let's roll a d6. Number 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to save $5 this week. And let me get out a pen that will color in that 5. I think this blue should work. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do that chisel tip again. It's not very accurate, but it speeds things up a lot. Okay, and now I can fill in with the fine tip. Okay. So $5 is going in to save the plates. And there's nothing in here to consolidate because the smallest bill in here is a 50, so $55 so far. This one will also go in the back face up. And next week we will go to another state or territory. Okay. So save the plates, $5. Up next is going to be save by color. And so for this one, I will need to put the binder away because I got to spread all these out. Make sure there's enough room for everything. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. And then I will roll the rainbow d6 dice. Here they are. And mark off accordingly. Okay, so red is a big ol' 6. Orange is 4. That was last week, or some other week. Yellow is 1. Green is 1, of course. That's the last one in green. Blue is 3. And purple is 1. Okay, so everything is marked off, and I need to save $10, $11, $12, $13, $16. Pretty cheap this week. Pretty cheap. Probably because I've been rolling all those high numbers, or scratching all those high numbers on the other challenges, so the dice decided to give me a break. All right. So back into the binder, and we'll flip over to that page, or that envelope. Aha. Okay, so I can put 2 back and take out a 20. So now it's got 100, 200, 50, 70, 90, 310, 315. So I'm going to take all of this back, 50 and 320s, for a 100 and a 10. So still 315. So that is going swimmingly. I'm about a third of the way to the goal. Saving on this side, the total will be 1,008. 168 per card times 6 cards. Okay, Corny Sayings is up next. And before I get too far into that, I better write down the $16 for Save by Color. And I am going to roll for this twice. If it's a low, or well, I'll roll once, and if it's a low number, like 3 or less, then I will roll a second time. So let's see how we do. 5. Okay. So I think I will just leave it at the 5. I don't have the purple marker handy, so I'm just going to use blue. And save $5, which I can condense already. So 10 and 2 5s for a 20, and that means this challenge so far will have $120 in it. I am doing these one at a time, so there was another one that I've already completed. Now we're working on this one. Okay, and that got $5. So let's see where we're at now. We're at 34, 41, 59, 64, 85. So I need $15 more from the 12 face cards, which is the last challenge. That's just the dashboard. Let me get the actual challenge out. Oops. And I am going to roll a d12 to tell me which card to do. That's a d20. There's a d12. Number 12. Okay, so that is going to be the King of Clubs, which is Alexander the Great. There's only 3 more left on this card, so let's roll a d6. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang on 15. Exactly what I needed to save $100 for my Tuesday challenges this week. That could not have gone any better. Okay, so a 10 and a 5 will go into celebrations, or celebration savings. It's going to go into the 12 face cards. It's early as I'm recording this. Usually I record it in the evening when I'm pretty, with it, or at least as lucid as I get, but not today. Okay, so I'm going to put back the 10 and 2 5s for a 20. So 521 in this challenge, which will take forever. Because there's a lot of cards and there's a lot of high numbers on those cards. So I'm going to be playing the 12 face cards for a good long time, and that is good. All right, so $15 here, which means for the first time in a long time, I will be saving exactly the goal amount into my high yield savings this week. The $250 is going to go toward the big move, and is that all going toward the big move? It might not. I'll have to consult my budget. If I've misspoke and some of that money needs to go somewhere else, I will redirect it there, of course, and I'll cover all of that in the weekly reel on Friday when I total up all of my spending and earning for the week and give you the news as to whether it's a good week, a bad week, or just a weak week. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and until I see you in the next one, take care.